Did DeMeco Ryans get screwed out of the Coach of the Year award at NFL Honors? Welcome into the channel. I'm Cody Stoots. Let's talk some Texans, and let's talk about awards night for the Texans. Woo! They cleaned up. CJ Stroud, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Will Anderson, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Andre Johnson, with his rightful place in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Dre is headed to what they call football heaven. The best team that you can be a part of is what a lot of the Hall of Famers talk about. And my goodness, is he deserving to be in there. But DeMeco Ryans didn't win the Coach of the Year award. That went to Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski. Or as the CBS news show that nobody's going to watch actor said, Steven Stefanski. Not great for your show called Tracker when you can't even track the right pronunciation of an award winner. But let's dive in to should DeMeco Ryans have won the Coach of the Year award, and stick around to the end of the video and I'll tell you how you can win $100. So DeMeco Ryans finishes second to Kevin Stefanski in Coach of the Year, and really he didn't finish second as much as he lost on a tiebreaker. Look at these voting results. Kevin Stefanski got 21 first place votes. DeMeco Ryans got 20. But by virtue of second place and third place votes, they finished with the same amount of total points. So the first place vote for Kevin Stefanski is the tiebreaker between Stefanski and DeMeco Ryans. And man, that is brutal to get that close and to lose on that. So let's take a look at the Browns and think about their season and the Texans season and really kind of parse through all this and find out if DeMeco Ryans got screwed 1997 WWE style. Okay? So the Browns finished with 11 wins on the season, 6 losses, and last season they were 7-10. The Texans finished with 10 wins and 7 losses, and last season they were 3-13-1. I'm going to go advantage DeMeco Ryans on that one. That's a huge improvement from last year. Now, look, the Texans did infuse a lot of talent into this team. They obviously have the offensive and defensive rookies of the year. They had some other draft picks play well. They spent some money in free agency. Those guys played well. So there is a little bit of, it's not all DeMeco Ryans, but my goodness, when you watch the Houston Texans, and I don't know that everybody had watched them last year, there weren't a lot of reasons to watch them. And then you watch this year, everything's different. Everything is better about this team. They're so much better coached under DeMeco Ryans. They don't make silly mistakes in game operation like they did under the previous 3 coaches. That's right, including Bill O'Brien in his final little time here with the Texans. They don't make those silly game mistakes. Yeah, some of the penalties here or there, but it's not outrageous and egregious. And they typically, over the course of the season, didn't stay bad. In fact, they stayed good more often than staying bad over the course of their schedule. Like the Texans were just a better coached team under DeMeco Ryans. Now, Stefanski is the same head coach as last year for the Browns. And yeah, the results got better, but the massive jump from last year's Texans team to this year's Texans team, in addition to the record, that to me favored DeMeco Ryans. Now, amount of wins, look, that favored Kevin Stefanski, and they beat more playoff teams than the Texans beat. They played 7 playoff teams. They won 4 of those games. The Texans played 4 playoff teams. They won 2 of those games. And in those victories against playoff teams, they beat the Baltimore Ravens, and the Browns beat the San Francisco 49ers. So I could certainly understand when you start combing through and looking through, hey, they had one more win. They beat the Texans head-to-head, and some of their wins that they did have were more impressive than the wins that the Texans had. It's worth noting they beat the Ravens in their second try. That was something that very much favored, to me, the Cleveland Browns. When you start going through, hey, not only the amount of wins, but who did you beat? Who did you have success against? The Browns, of course, get 2 shots at the Ravens, but the win over San Fran, the win over Baltimore, those are 2 really good teams, and I could certainly see where that element of the conversation swings to Kevin, a.k.a. Steven Stefanski, as the presenter said, and not towards the Texans. Then I wanted to look and dive a little bit deeper. 16th on offense, first on defense. Now, it's worth noting Kevin Stefanski doesn't coach the defense. The assistant coach of the year, Jim Schwartz, he coaches the defense. So they were number one on defense, 16th in what Stefanski coached. DeMeco Ryans and his crew over on defense, 14th in total defense, 12th in total offense. I'm going to go advantage DeMeco on that one. And when you start thinking about the team and the issues that they faced, it's really tough to argue for the Texans having a better situation when the Browns had Myles Garrett get hurt in the middle of the year. And I know he kept playing, but he kind of ticked down as far as his effectiveness. They lost a bunch of offensive linemen over the course of the year. The Texans certainly did as well, but they played a multitude and a number of quarterbacks in the course of the season. And so with that, I understand how voters put Kevin Stefanski there. Now, in the Pro Football Writers of America, I voted for DeMeco Ryans. I believe DeMeco Ryans should have been the coach of the year based on what team he took over. Stefanski had a 4-win improvement. DeMeco Ryans had a 7-win improvement, and a lot of that rests on the head coach. Sure, Kevin Stefanski navigated through some issues throughout the course of this season, but to me, DeMeco Ryans navigating his issues and improving where the team was last year to where they are this year, which was a division winner, something that the Browns couldn't say. DeMeco Ryans, to me, deserved to be the coach of the year. I'm not going to say that he got screwed, though. It's a worthwhile competition, and if you had the vote over again, I'm sure that DeMeco Ryans might have had a chance to win that as well. In fact, if you vote this thing 10 times out of 10, I think DeMeco Ryans wins it more than Kevin, a.k.a. Steven Stefanski. Now, before anybody mentions or brings up the playoff game, these awards are voted on at the conclusion of the regular season. So the Texans mollywopping the Browns in the playoffs, that didn't play in to the Coach of the Year conversation or the Coach of the Year award. And I got a hunch that DeMeco Ryans, who lost to Stefanski, and Bobby Slowick, who lost the Assistant Coach of the Year award to Jim Schwartz, I got a hunch they'll take the playoff win over the Cleveland Browns instead of a couple of trophies, a couple of pieces of hardware. Though it would have been nice, and DeMeco Ryans is certainly deserving of it. I want to talk about C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson. How fantastic is it that they won their respective Rookie of the Year awards? Will Anderson had to come on strong there down the stretch to pass up Jalen Carter and some of the other guys. And then C.J. Stroud, it had felt like it'd been his award by about mid-season, as well as he played with Bijan Robinson not ever really getting going over in Atlanta, Bryce Young struggling, Anthony Richardson going down, and Will Levis not ever really being super consistent and starting the year on the bench. It felt like it was C.J. Stroud's award to win by the middle. And my question to you, who's more likely to win the non-rookie award? Is C.J. Stroud more likely to win an MVP, or is Will Anderson more likely to win a Defensive Player of the Year? Both are really tough. I feel like there's more competition for the MVP because not only do you compete against the best players across, including defenders and wide receivers and running backs, you got to compete against other quarterbacks. So you have to be statistically incredible to win the MVP award, which is what Lamar Jackson was this season as he won the MVP. I got to give a slight edge to Will Anderson. Feels like he is just a tiny bit more likely to win Defensive Player of the Year than C.J. Stroud is to win the MVP. Not based on talent, because obviously Stroud's got the talent. He was in the conversation in the middle of the year, but just the competition and what it takes to get there. Anderson can certainly thrust himself into the conversation, build on that rookie year. Maybe it's not in year 2, but year 3. He's finding himself competing for that award. C.J. Stroud, look, he's been adamant. He wants to win an MVP award. I'm not going to put it past him winning an MVP award because, well, C.J. Stroud feels like he can do just about anything. Great stuff with Andre Johnson going into the Hall of Fame. Well-deserved. Had the red jacket for being in the Texans Ring of Honor, the gold jacket now, watching the video of Andre getting the knock from Chris Carter, the emotion. Andre doesn't show hardly any emotion. So to see him get choked up and teary-eyed knowing that he's going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame is fantastic. Shout out to Cortland Finnegan for giving Andre one of the great non-wide receiver moments of his career, and one of the only other moments in his life that Andre Johnson has not been cool, calm, and collected, because he was cool, calm, and collected for the majority of his NFL career. A fantastic career with the Texans, a fantastic NFL career. He's the greatest offensive Texan to ever wear the uniform. If there is a receiving record, he probably owns it for the Texans franchise. Now, I told you you could win $100. Now, how do you win $100? Cody, I'm glad you asked. I want you to visit my friends at BetUS. BetUS is a fantastic sportsbook, racebook, casino as well. The link in the description down below is where you need to join. Join up, deposit at least $50, and let me know that you deposited, and I'll put you in a raffle to win $100. That's right. You could deposit $50, and then you'll gamble with it. You'll win on that, and then you might win the raffle to find yourself with $100 cash. All you got to do is sign up in my link in the description down below. Look, Michael Vick does it. Why don't you want to do it? The link in the description down below is where you sign up. Deposit at least $50, and boom, you are ready to go start gambling. The big game, the finish to football season, is Sunday. Basketball, college basketball. If you're a hockey guy, I know a guy who gives me some hockey picks, so sometimes I put those in there. You can gamble on anything. They got the casino, the racebook. I want you to game responsibly, of course, when you do game. But if you sign up at my link in the description down below over the next couple of days and let me know that you signed up in the link, depositing at least $50, I'll put you in a raffle to win $100. That's right, $100. I'll put you in a raffle to win it. So, DeMeco Ryans didn't quite get screwed, but probably should, in my opinion, have won the Coach of the Year award. The Texans still clean up at awards night, and you clean up when you watch the videos. What does that mean? I don't really know what that means. But give me a thumbs up on the video. Hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Plenty more off-season conversation to come. It's a long off-season, but we're going to get through it together here on the channel, talking about anything and everything when it comes to the Houston Texans. Appreciate you watching. I can't wait till we talk Texans again soon.